My name is JP the Outlaw, here to give you my review for this episode of Raw, September the 11th, 2017. They start off the episode with a tribute to everybody who lost a loved one or the loved ones lost inside of the 9/11 event that happened a couple of years ago. If you wasn't there for that, where the hell have you been? Underneath a rock? They pay tribute to that, then regular scheduled programming as normal. They start off the show with Roman versus Jason Jordan, and I would have to say power versus technical. I'm all for Jason Jordan. I want them to ground him now, because as I can see, he's already went up against John Cena and Roman Reigns in these past 2 weeks. I'm not saying Jason Jordan isn't good enough to go in the ring with these two guys. What I'm saying is you want to build Jason Jordan to be able to go against these two guys and win. If the story you're looking for is like an underdog story as far as Jason Jordan is concerned, if you're looking for that type of story, the best person to put him against, unfortunately, is a Samoa Joe or Braun Strowman. Somebody that you know is a certified beast and can take it to this kid, because now, just in the past 2 weeks, he's going toe-to-toe with the biggest names in the WWE. And with that being said, he reminds me a lot of Kurt Angle, but he's missing that one piece, and we talked about this on the JP show over the weekend. Jason Jordan is emotionless. And I think if, you put him in some emotional some emotional events, I guess, whereas though he has to respond emotionally, like Kurt Angle getting jumped or something of that nature. You got to give him something that he can connect with the fans can get behind him, and he go to the next level. In-ring segment with John Cena and Roman Reigns, just like last week. This would be their round 3 of promos cut. And of course, John Cena cutting Roman Reigns in fucking ribbons. I mean, just whatever Roman had to say, which was better this week. And I feel as though Roman touched on a lot of things as far as, John Cena being a part-timer, so on and so forth. But, Cena killed that shit. Cena, the one line that I could take away from this that Cena said that completely obliterated Roman Reigns was, just like a drug test, Roman, you won't be passing me after No Mercy. Boom. Roman clearly needs to work on his mic skills, especially when you're stepping into the ring on a microphone with somebody like a John Cena. Same thing I said about John Cena when he stepped in the ring with somebody like The Rock. Rocky Maivia, Dwayne, The Rock Johnson, however you want to say it. But definitely a good segment. I'm enjoying the show so far. Then you get Sasha Banks versus Emma. You had Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax on commentary. Nia Jax, of course, makes a statement about never getting her title shot from Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss responds with, "Oh, I tried to make that happen for you, and this, that, no, you didn't," so on and so forth. A little bantering on the commentary booth is always good to further the storyline. Sasha Banks picks up the win over Emma. In-ring segment with Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. Now, Paul Heyman cut a terrific promo. A fucking terrific promo from Paul Heyman, talking about, these two men meeting face to face for the first time. And, Braun, you're not like an average man waiting in the back, running from the beast, Brock Lesnar. You're an animal yourself. You want to come out here and fight. So in the spirit of the UFC, fighter 1, are you ready? Fighter 2, are you ready? Fight. Beautiful. Beautiful. I read an article maybe earlier yesterday where Paul Heyman pretty much comes in and rewrites all of Brock Lesnar's promos, which are great, which, you need that. And, Paul Heyman isn't just an advocate on TV. He's the advocate in the back for Brock Lesnar. Just imagine what we would get if Paul Heyman wasn't there. Brock Lesnar wouldn't be as big of a deal as he is now if Paul Heyman wasn't there. And I truly believe that. Just look at that first year when Brock came back by himself without Paul Heyman, and it was a big difference when Paul Heyman joining the fold with the Brock Lesnar brand. And this was a great segment. Body slam, suplex, reverse out of the suplex. Braun Strowman stands up, looks Brock Lesnar in the face, and tells him to come on. And then again, power slam, takes out the beast Brock Lesnar. He puts his foot on his neck. He stands tall with the title, Braun Strowman. I'm hyped to see this match. I am really all for. Now, again, mentioned on the JP show, I would take the title off of Brock Lesnar. You can keep the title on Braun for all of this. You can have Braun go against Roman for the title for the next 2 to 3 months until we get to Survivor Series, which Brock Lesnar will be coming back. And then you only got 2 months in between there until you get to the Royal Rumble. WrestleMania season is literally right around the corner. I think you taking the title off of Brock Lesnar and putting it on WWE television will do good for the Universal title. But there's more rumors and reports. I'm hearing that Brock Lesnar and John Cena will be going up against The Undertaker. So The Undertaker can revenge his 2 losses at WrestleMania and retire justly. But we'll talk about that again, of course, on maybe an extra edition of the JP show. Probably later today or maybe tomorrow. Moving forward, a backstage segment with Sheamus and Cesaro. They're in an interview with Charlie Caruso, and they tell her, we are the bar, Sheamus and Cesaro stuff. That brings us into a match with the Club and Sheamus and Cesaro. You had Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose on commentary, and Sheamus and Cesaro music hits. They comes out and attack Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Out comes the Club. They jump into the mix. They had to get the referees and the people backstage to break it up, which I thought was crazy, but, they're going into later tonight to meet each other. Again, backstage segment, Dean and Seth Rollins get Kurt Angle to make a match. He makes an 8-man match. They both wanted to fight Sheamus and Cesaro in the Club. So Seth Rollins comes out, give us both of them, and he tells them, you go find a tag team party, you got a match. Video package for Asuka. Now, this is a big fucking deal. Me personally, Asuka is the next level of women's competitor in the WWE. That's what you want for your women's competitor in the WWE. A nice little video package highlighting Asuka. Of course, she's going to be out with an injury that she retained at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. So we won't see Asuka for a while, but we've confirmed that she's going to Raw. Goldust versus Bray Wyatt. This actually happened after the Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman segment. Bray Wyatt, Goldust comes out, of course. Bray Wyatt tells Goldust, you get your power from your face paint, and I'm going to show you how you're just a man. Of course, Bray Wyatt wins the match and starts rubbing off the face paint of Goldust. Goldust, literally broken and battered. Out comes Finn Balor to defend Goldust, and basically for the save. And that's pretty much the end of that segment. Like I said before with Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt, I would rather see Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor fighting for the Intercontinental title. Of course, later tonight you'll get some news from what's going on with Maurice and The Miz, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Backstage segment with Nia Jax, regular programming now, fellas. Backstage segment with Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. Of course, both women not happy about Asuka being signed to Raw. And of course, you have Alexa Bliss kissing up to Nia Jax, trying to gain her favor in this 4-way. Nia Jax, she goes on to say that she was mad that she didn't get Kurt Angle to, make that title match for her. But Nia Jax took it upon herself. Next week, you'll have Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. I don't think it's for the title, but If it is, of course, I don't see them taking the title off Alexa Bliss just yet. And if they do, why would you give Nia Jax a short title reign? That makes no fucking sense. But that's my opinion of it. In ring segment with Elias Sampson, basic Elias Sampson promo. He talks about the city, how much it sucks, and so on and so forth. Kalisto in the ring with Elias. Kalisto has a massive for sale for the I think that's the cancer program that the WWE works closely with, and you would think that they would, if they were going to do something like this, they would book Kalisto a little bit differently. Now they had this special mask on Kalisto. Me personally, I would have had him wear it maybe 2 more times before this went down. So when you put it up for auction, it'd be more money. And plus, I would definitely book Kalisto in more winning scenarios. Of course, he's not treated like a cruiserweight when he is a cruiserweight. And I think that's the major problem with Kalisto. The one man that has a victory over Braun Strowman inside of a dumpster match. So again, if you wanted to do something with Kalisto, it's not too late. I think it's time to jump on that boat and make something happen. I wouldn't mind seeing Kalisto in the cruiserweight division. Actually using Kalisto as he should be used versus have him go up against the bigger opponent until the giant killer story. Nobody wants that. John Cena versus Braun Strowman. And this, for the most part, was a decent match. Slow build. It slowly crept up on you. But John Cena pretty much bringing it to Braun Strowman. But Braun Strowman getting the better of John Cena and putting him down for the 1-2. Well, not even the 1-2-3. He got himself disqualified by putting Cena down with a bodyplex onto the steel chairs. Now, my whole thing with this is a big money draw, okay? Braun Strowman, one of the best guys that you just ripped out of nowhere and started building, you put him into a match with Big Match Johnny. Now, I think that could have waited for a pay-per-view, just like Shinsuke Nakamura versus John Cena. I think the idea of John Cena getting all these big matches is because they don't see Cena being around much longer. And that's understandable. But in the same sense, you want to push Cena to his limits with these new cats. You want the new cats to benefit off of Cena. And I think the only person so far that benefited off of Cena was Braun Strowman. Now, do I have him winning the title? No. Not at all. Same thing with Shinsuke Nakamura. I didn't have Shinsuke winning the title. He should have. But knowing the WWE, they're that fucked up. They wouldn't give him the title. Now, moving forward with Braun Strowman, again, it's time to put the title on somebody other than Brock Lesnar. This win over John Cena and then going into No Mercy, beating Brock Lesnar, solidifies Braun Strowman's title run. But that's just my opinion. Backstage segment, you got Dean and Seth Rollins running around asking everybody. They even asked Dean Malenko, I think was one of the people that they asked. The man with 1,001 holds. I only know one man with 3 more holds better than him. But, yeah, they even asked Dean Malenko. They wound up running into the Hardys. And Matt and Jeff, Matt's hitting his broken brilliance bullshit. And, Jeff still in the background, still can go. They get involved in this 8-man tag for Team Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Miz TV. This is a Miz TV segment. You got Maurice, Miz, the rest of the Miz Taraj, and Enzo is a special guest on the Miz TV segment. You had Maurice announce her pregnancy, and I think I reported a couple weeks back where Maurice was taking some time off from the WWE, hence the stable, the Miz Taraj. But I'm happy for the Miz. I'm happy that him and his wife are having a child. That's a good thing. It's always a blessing to have kids. Trust me. Even though I'm not saying that they're not a pain. I'm not saying that the story to get them to where they need to be isn't easy. But having a kid is a life-changing experience. And I'm happy for those guys. I'm surprised that they shared that on